Welcome back everyone to Madrid, and welcome to the second part of this 7-part mini-series with Real Madrid. Today we are going to be playing the Madrileño Derby. That of course is against Atletico Madrid. Now, a couple of things I'd like to go over before we dive into Football Manager. That guy hiding behind the pillar, yep, he's my cameraman. A little bit shy, but does like a little bit of hide and seek. The second thing is, well, I'd just like to thank everyone who checked out the first episode. That got a lot more views than I was expecting, and yeah, I would just like to thank everyone who took the time out of their day to watch that episode. Now, in terms of today's episode, we do have a Real Sociedad game to catch up on, and we have a Champions League draw prior to today's match. So, without further ado, let's hop into Football Manager 22 and let's crack on with today's adventure. In our only catch-up game, we started things off from the back as Hummels came up for a corner and placed a lovely header into the left-hand side. We then went and doubled up through a penalty scored by Hazard, and then we got our third and final goal over on the 77th minute. Yet again though, it was a centre-back who scored this time. Yes, an own goal from the Real Sociedad defender, and thus we won this one 3-0. But the question is, who are we going to get in the Champions League group? Well, let's head on over to the cup draw. Quickly, before we jump into our Champions League draw, I just wanted to go over a few little notes I took between the last episode and this one. And the first one is Marcelo snubs Elche. Now, Marcelo is one of our older players. He's 33 years of age, I believe. He is a reserve player, probably not going to play a single game for us, and thus he's on the chopping block. In fact, I think he might even be transfer listed. If we have a quick little look, yes, he is listed at 33 years of age. Was a good player for those who have seen him before, but now he's getting on a little bit. He's not quite up to scratch for our club, and we want to get rid of him. Unfortunately though, he snubbed a contract offer from Elche and thus didn't go there. Now, Milan, they did manage to acquire one of our players on the way out, and that is Isco. As you can see, he has gone for 9 million. He's gone on the cheaper end of his valuation, but again, another player we're probably never going to use, and thus we've got him out the door. Got a little bit of cash in for him. Now, in terms of the team of the week, we had a couple of players in that. Courtois and Hummels made it into the team of the week, and we receive 12.65 million for reaching the group stage of the Champions League. So we're a couple of days prior to the big game, but of course it is time to draw our Champions League groups. But before we dive into that one, a few of you might be happy to see above me that Gareth Bale did not make the Wales team. Yes, Gareth Bale has missed out on a place at the Wales international squad. He has not managed to get himself in there, so those of you who aren't much of a fan of Gareth Bale, you might be happy to see that one. Now, it is time to draw the Champions League, and the first one out of the hat is Inter Milan going into Group A. Going into Group B is Villarreal. Group C, Chelsea. Group D is Bayern Munich. We then have Atletico Madrid, Man City, Lille and Sporting. Now the question is, where shall we end up? We can't go in B and we can't go in E. So, first one out is Borussia Dortmund. We then have Liverpool, Sevilla. We then have PSG. So, B, C and E all now have Spanish teams in them. We have Man UFC going in with Atletico Madrid. That looks like an interesting group. So does F. Look at that. Barcelona, Man City. I wouldn't mind Group G. Group G would be nice space. Maybe even H. We've got Group H. Come on, we've got Sporting. Not too bad. If we're going to take one of those teams, I think Sporting is probably one of the ones, if not Lille, as our first choice of groups to end up in. So we've got Leipzig, we've got Sporting, we've got RB Leipzig, and finally we are going to get Dynamo or Slavia Prague, and we have Slavia Prague. Not a bad little group. I think we can top this one quite comfortably. I think Leipzig will give us a decent game, and Sporting might give us a decent game as well. But Slavia, I think, are going to be bottom of the pile. I think it's going to be between these two to decide who gets that second place spot in the group. But it is, of course, time for the big game. So I will see you fine folks over at their stadium in just a second. The team sheet is out, ladies and gents, and there is a couple of things missing from there. First of all, as you might have noticed, Benzema has not made it back. Unfortunately, he still has a little bit of a knock and is going to be recovering for the next game or so. Probably be back for the next episode, unless, of course, he picks up another injury. And, well, as you might have also noticed, Atletico Madrid is missing half a bench. They only have 7 people on their bench, which is good news for us, but we all know they have decent starters, so this is still going to be a rather tough game. Now, in terms of the team talk, we are suggested to go with carry on from your last match. Well, no, we're not going for that. I expect victory here. We cannot afford to lose to our rivals, no matter how good they are. That is a decent one. I know how hard fought this rivalry is. Go out there and play for the fans. I know we're away from home, but we should have a good away support. So, go out there and do it for the fans. That has boosted up a few different players. A lot of people just don't really seem to matter, but a few of them do actually care about the fans. So keep an eye out for those players who actually care about you, ladies and gents. And the others, well, try to avoid booing them, please. Try to avoid booing them. But as you can see, they've had a rough start to the season. They've won one and lost one, whereas we have won both of our opening games. That places us 4th in the league and them down in 13th. Not the greatest of title defences, but very much recoverable. So, let's skip ahead. Let's crack on with this one. Let's get straight on into the action. And we're going to kick off with a free kick highlight even. Oh, come on! Kingsley Coman, 4 minutes in, has just gone and got us the opening goal. Back post, pokes it in. Wasn't the most clinical of finishes, but we will take it. So Cruz whips one in. Militao near post nods it across the goal. Coman at the back, just poking it past Oblak. And we have a goal. And we have the lead. But they have the ball here on the 7.5 minutes as Oblak tries to build from the back. And I think he's probably going to roll it out by that. Nope, he's going to kick it straight up. He's going route one straight to Griezmann. And Griezmann has got past his man. Can Alaba get back and get the tackle in? It's Casemiro, in fact. I don't know where Alaba is. Where are you, Alaba? Thankfully, their shot goes crashing off the crossbar. But they are still in a deadly position, thankfully. That highlight is over. And we can breathe a sigh of relief. Also, we do need to start getting more shots on target. We are keeping up our bad form of getting plenty of shots, just not many of them on target. As you can see, we've got 1 on target from 3. I might have to start taking over the training, stop letting our assistant deal with that, and just get the lads practicing getting their shots on target, because it's getting rather irritating to watch us miss as many shots as we are. But right now, Savic will try and build from the back. It's up to DePaul. DePaul coming down this right-hand side. Plays it up to Trippier. Trippier holding up the ball nicely. Pulls it all the way back to Savic. Savic holding up the ball nicely. Now gets it up to DePaul on the halfway line. Can he do anything with it? Pulls it across to Llorente. Llorente up to Suarez. Suarez gets past one, but Hummels dispossesses him. Unfortunately, though, it goes straight back to DePaul. He's got it back to Savic. Llorente over to Koke. Koke over the top. Route one yet again to Griezmann. We need to watch out for that one. That seems to be the strategy there. Going forward, Suarez cracks it off the crossbar yet again. We have escaped once more. They could have had 2 goals thus far. Thankfully, though, they have none. Casemiro, though, that was dangerous. And it's got him sent off. I mean, I'm not going to argue. That I cannot argue against. That was a disgusting challenge. And he definitely should have been sent off. But it's just a shame. Now the question is, Cruz or Modric for our ball-winning midfielder? As you can see, Modric can do it pretty decently. His stamina and strength, though, is lacking. If we go over to Cruz, he's been having a great time as our playmaker. Will he be able to cover for the ball winning? Probably better, to be honest. His aggression and bravery isn't quite there, and his marking is questionable. This really is a case of which one is going to be worse, and avoiding using the one who's going to be worse. So if we just look at this on defensive, they both struggle on marking. He struggles on stamina and strength. Modric, I think I'm going to make you the playmaker. I think you're going to be the playmaker. I think that's what we are going with in this situation. We are going to drop off positive. We're going to go for a more cautious mentality. In fact, in possession, we are going to just try and waste time as humanly possible because we are playing with 10 men. So let's just try and burn off the clock. Also, I have noticed the red card goes up in the upper right-hand corner above our name. So I wonder what it looks like with a few cards. That would be interesting to see. Hopefully we don't get to see that in this one. I would rather not have a bunch of players sent off. But right now we head into half-time, 1-0. Now, I'm not going to reel off the match stats. You fine folks can see those. And if you are interested, of course, feel free to pause it at that point. Now, I think we have to remember how important this is for the fans. Win for them, lads. Win for them. Casemiro, don't want to hear a thing from you. You got yourself sent off. Don't know why you're motivated. You are sitting in the stand. In fact, I might just leave you in the dressing room after that disgusting challenge. But Tues, yet again, goes over to the back post and Coleman with a second. It looks like it's going to be disallowed though. That is unfortunate. Let's see what VAR makes of this one. It was a nice little cross and an even better header. Unfortunately though, VAR is going to review this one. And we've got the goal! Come on! Let's have another look at this goal. Kingsley Coman, back post, nods it past Obilak. Nice little placed header on that back post. I would have liked to have seen how far it was onside, but it's okay. It's okay. We got to see the goal, and that's the important part. Now, Coman plays it back to Modric. It's a ball in, and Martial unfortunately cannot get onto the end of it. Carvajal with a lovely attempt to cross, unfortunately. It is cleared away, but we have a corner, and Tues will try and whip this one in. It's into the back post, nodded away by Felipe. It will be collected by Eden Hazard, unfortunately, though. That will be the end of that as we head towards our usual substitution time. We are on the 62nd minute here. As you can see, Kingsley Coman is getting a little tired. He does have a couple of goals. I would like to keep him on, but he is getting tired, and thus we are going to take him off. So, Coman is going to go have a nice relaxing shower. We are going to bring on Bale for Coman. We then have the option of, right, Hazard's having a rough one. I'm going to do something a little interesting here. We are going to take Martial, put him on the left-hand side. We are then going to go with Jovic up front on his own. Carvajal is on a yellow card. Vasquez, maybe? Do we bring on Vasquez? Carvajal, yeah, he's having a rough game. He's having a rough game. He's on a yellow card. Don't want to risk him getting sent off and a second player sent off. So we're just going to substitute him out. Nice little triple substitution. We've got an extra sub or two if we need to use them. And shall hold on to them for a little bit. Heck, we might go full San Marino. As you can see, Modric is now getting a bit tired, so we're going to sub out Modric. So Modric can come off for, is it Valverde? Yeah, Valverde can come on for, no, that's Tues. We don't want him off for Tues. Actually, would we rather have Camavinga? No. That's too attacking. We'll go with Valverde, drop him to the ball-winning midfielder. Tues can come back over into his playmaker role. And that will be that for now. Tues, Alba, both our centre-backs, and Martial are the ones to look out for getting a little more tired. But we only have about 20 minutes remaining in this one, and Hummels will try and Bill from the back plays it up to Alaba. Valverde gets it over to Alaba on this left-hand side, back inside to Valverde. Now with Tues trying to pull it back for Hummels, in fact, in the centre circle. Now up to Valverde, nice 1-2 with Hummels. Martial's got an overlap in Alaba, he finds him. Alaba's got plenty of space, but can he use it? Whips one in, Bale. Oh, Bale cannot keep his header down and shows exactly why. $500,000 per week is a little too much to be paying him, but he's nice colour. It's nice to have his cover. I like him as cover. He's a little expensive, I will admit that, but he's nice to have his cover at least for this season. And although it is a one-season save, I do like to make things like I'm building for the future. I would probably keep Bale around for an extra season or two, sell him on next season. And yeah, that would be my plan in that situation, because I think a backup for Benzema and some centre-backs and maybe a left and right back is probably the first things we need to focus on. Bale, not quite so much, but right now, the ball is away to Jovic. We have avoided yet again another goal, but we have won a free kick, middle of the pitch. 3 minutes remain. We have almost held on. We have a 2-goal lead. We should be able to manage it now. And we have 2-0 in the end, down to 10 men. We made it hard for ourselves, but in the end, we managed to hold on against Atletico Madrid. No thanks to Casemiro, but Casemiro, you have just dodged a bullet there. We've managed to pick it up. Nice work, everyone. That was a great effort. Now the question is, what is the plan for the next one? We don't have a solid plan for the next one. I'm planning on coming back, doing a little look at the data hub, because we'll have some games to look at in that one. As you can see, Casemiro is banned. I think for the next episode, though, we're going to come back for a Champions League game. And the question is, which one do we come back for? Because we're going to come back before we verse Barcelona here. So we've got Sporting, Slavia Prague, Slavia Leipzig and Sporting. I think the game we're probably going to come back for. I think we'll come back for the middle Slavia game. I think we'll play though that month out. We'll come back for Slavia. I play up to Barcelona. We play Barcelona in the following episode. And then we come back for Sevilla, which is all the way down here, as we have the deadline day along with that match. So I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night and goodbye.